You're listening to littlepodcast.com. It was literally like half a second.
Awesome.
All right. I'm ready.
Good.
Oh, good. All right. You good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't gonna work.
We're not talking about any integrity in
We
this
are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Did I ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Yes, but that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No. There's vampires.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 144. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham.
Yep, through the magic of the internet.
Kind of.
And the magic of a microphone.
The magic of a weird microphone.
Yeah, Adam had an issue while we were setting this up that literally probably took 1 full hour for us to fix.
It was... I hate it, too, because I was all ready tonight. I was ready to go.
Me too, and now I have, like, the wind is out of my sails.
I know.
Like, because we just spent an hour troubleshooting.
I know, it's pain.
But it was cool because we kind of solved a mystery.
We did, we fixed it.
So Adam's there was a low background buzzing noise going on in Adam's computer while we were doing that, and it was like, well, that's weird. We haven't heard that before. And he's got this brand new USB mic, and he's got a stand, but he doesn't have a shock mount on there. But we were like, no, he didn't have it last week though, but it sounded fine. And then, lo and behold, there's this buzzing, and what did we try, Adam?
Every fucking thing. We tried switching ports. We tried just using battery power and stuff, like bad power.
Switching USB cables.
Switching USB cables. Switching positioning of the mic in, 4 different
on the table.
ways. Yeah.
And what was it, Adam?
It was the vibrations from my laptop being picked up. It bouncing the condenser mic and picking up those low frequencies.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it goes to show you that, A, when you're working with a condenser mic, you need a shock mount. Or you need just a really steady table with nothing, running near it.
Yeah.
Especially you're probably not helped because... Well, no, you don't have hardwood floors there, do you?
Actually, I think I have hardwood floors under my carpet, but yeah.
I mean, that probably also doesn't help. My floor is really soft.
Yeah.
But I don't have in my setup, I have a tower PC that I'm connected to, so it's all of its vibrations are going right into the carpet,
right.
So I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's crazy because everyone's immediately when you think of feedback on a microphone, oh, it's electricity.
Yeah.
Is it a faulty cable or something? And it was just as simple as this laptop has fans that are spinning in it, and they're buzzing, and it's going through the card table that you have set up because you're not using a particularly heavy table. That probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
But you have a card table, and did you have anything heavy on it before? Maybe sitting on the table with everything.
Maybe I don't think so.
That could have been soaking up some of that vibration. But anyway, yeah. So the laptop was vibrating onto the table, which caused the microphone to pick up this low, kind of halting hum. It would buzz in and out.
Actually, I think my laundry might have been on the table last time, so maybe.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we'll figure it out for next time. But now Adam's weirdly not looking at me in the camera. We usually look at each other.
Yeah,
but I'm not
going to eyes.
I'm not looking at Adam either now, so it's fair
Good.
for both of us. And yeah, I'm having a good time here. But God damn it. Whatever. You know what? This is the way it is. My microphone looks to be different than it was the last time I recorded. As it seems it's doing that weird peaking thing now that it was doing before, but whatever. It is what it is, and I think it sounds pretty good. But so apologies if there was that, and apologies if Adam and I both fall asleep in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Because we spent an hour working at something. Anyway, so that was it. How's your week, Adam? I'm going to start with you.
Good. I had a good week.
Nice.
Yeah. Basically, I just chilled. I played a lot of Divinity. And also, my brother came down this weekend, so...
Oh, nice.
And my sister, too. We had a family cookout on Friday, and
awesome.
He hung out Friday night, and yeah, we chilled today. It was cool.
Sorry, that's it?
That's pretty much it, but...
Nothing exciting. You didn't have any machete men attacking you or anything?
No machete. I did have a weird incident with a dog.
Whoa, okay.
Like, there was a dog across the street that was just kind of walking down the sidewalk and, like, barking, kind of.
Huh.
And I don't know.
Just like was it a stray dog?
I think it had a collar, but it was just like, and then some people, like, picked it up or did some other thing. I don't know. I just noticed, like, every once in a while I hear a bark and I look outside and there's this dog outside. And then I think somebody either called somebody or they
You better call somebody.
or they were looking for it and they found it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But
stray dogs, man, they'll bite.
Yeah,
you want to get rabies.
I don't really know. Kind of, I think it's some kind of pit too, but I'm not sure.
Oh, good. Pit bull off the leash.
I couldn't tell. It's across the street. It may not have been a pit bull. It may have just been a smaller terrier-like dog. But
there's a big difference there, Adam, between a pit bull, which is a large dog, and a small terrier dog.
Pit bulls aren't that big.
No, but they're larger than like a little dog.
Like the bull terrier?
Yeah. Oh, whatever. Anyway, I mean, I think pit bulls are a terrier, though.
That's what I think, yeah.
But they're big. I mean, they're big.
They're not that big.
Oh, they're big. Pit bulls are big.
They're not much bigger than a beagle.
Oh, yeah, they are. Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure they're not that much bigger.
No, pit bulls are full-size dogs.
They're not like golden retriever
We're talking
size.
like, yeah, oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, Adam.
No.
You don't know anything about dogs. I'm going to look this up right now.
All right.
Pit bull weight.
You would.
Let's see here. American Pit Bull Terrier. They weigh... Oh, good. It's in fucking kilograms. So I have no fucking clue.
Is it like 15?
No.
How many kilograms?
Let's see here. Average weight of
how many kilograms?
35 to 55 pounds. That is a gigantic little dog,
35
Adam.
are not that...
That's fucking huge,
No, it's
dude.
not.
Yes, it is.
35-pound dog is not that big.
Yes, it is, Adam.
No. St. Bernard
Yes.
is a big dog. A Great Dane
Yeah, that's
is
a
big
huge dog. We're talking... Okay, Adam.
A Golden Retriever is bigger than that.
Let's see. Golden Retriever weight.
I bet they weigh more than 50 pounds.
I don't... Yeah, 55 was the average pound.
See? I told you.
Are you kidding me? I just said 35 to 55.
Right. So the largest on the average side of the pit bull is going to be smaller than your average golden retriever.
No.
Yeah.
Golden Retriever dogs weigh, wait for it, 55 to 70 pounds.
Yeah, bigger.
It is slightly smaller.
The smallest golden retriever is bigger than the biggest pit bull. So I'm right. They're a little bit smaller.
No, you're not right. You said it's tiny.
I didn't say it was... I never said it was tiny. I said it was small.
They are smaller than I thought, but they're still...
They're not like
we're
golden retriever sized. They're like beagle sized.
They're not
How big
fucking
are beagles?
beagle sized.
Beagles are probably like 20 to 40.
No, they're not. Never. Beagles are 9 to 10 kilograms.
Which is 20
Whoa, stop. American Pit Bull Terrier, 16 to 30 kilograms. They're not even close to this as small as a beagle, Adam.
All right. You got me there.
Okay.
They're bigger than
but they
beagle.
aren't as big as bigger dogs, so you're right there.
All right.
Oh, wait, I'm not even looking at American Pit Bull Terriers. I'm looking at, there's a different breed even. There's Pit Bulls, which are a different breed. They're probably even bigger. And here, how about this, Adam?
Does this really matter?
We were both wrong.
There we go.
You were aiming low, and I was aiming high.
There we go.
Somewhere in between.
Let's just meet in the middle.
They're a medium-sized dog.
God, I don't even think they're... Well, okay. I'll go with medium.
They're medium. They're definitely not as
Smallish
big as a
medium.
golden retriever, but they're bigger than a beagle. So there it is. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck were we talking about?
That weird dog outside my house.
Okay, but there were no more machete incidents in my life.
Good.
So okay. How was the cookout? Anything good? Adam, what did you cook?
Oh, I didn't cook anything.
Oh, of course.
I don't know why you ask when you already know the answer.
Well, I'm just letting the readers know, or
They
the
know,
listeners
too.
know. Do they?
Yeah, they do.
I gotta ram that point home.
That was really good. There was cheesy potatoes. There was...
Gotta have cheesy potatoes.
Yeah, we had pork, like tenderloin sandwiches and hamburgers.
Nice. I had a family grill out this weekend too.
And chips and pico de gallo, which was really good.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was good.
That's awesome.
What'd you have?
Okay, so my parents, they stopped by at the Middleton County Park where they were staying.
Yeah.
In their new camper van. They bought not an RV, but a trailer
That doesn't surprise me.
that they're towing behind their truck,
Yeah.
and it's humongous.
Yeah.
It's like as big as your like old efficiency inside. There's a kitchen. It has like a dining table area. It has like a couch that you can sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a full size bed in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bathroom, all that. It's really fancy and nice. They said it was a 2010, so it was used by one owner, so they got a pretty good deal, and it looks like basically brand new. The guy took really good care of it, so yeah, that's cool. So they're planning on tripping around the U.S., staying at camper parks and stuff. So they're gonna be those people now.
Cool.
Well, whatever.
Wait, is that like when you say like from now on or what?
What do you mean?
Are they just like? Are they going?
Well,
for the
once
summer,
you buy
or are
that,
they going?
what?
Are they going for the summer, or are they camp people now?
No. They're going for the summer.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna use it. They're gonna use it for like when they go on trips.
All right.
I mean, the idea is like if you want to drive around because you don't like flying, and you can take your hotel room with you.
Yeah. I did that. Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun because you kind of get to a campsite, and rather than camping outside in a tent, you actually kind of have like a nice enclosed space to sleep in. It's
Yeah, I was just wondering because some people when they get around that age, they're just like fuck houses. I'm going to be a camp person now.
That's what they said. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so because their home base is in Wisconsin, and
Yeah.
that's kind of need warm temperature. So they'll probably end up moving out of their house, which is big because it's just the two of them now. So they'll move into a smaller ranch-style house with, a little bit better layout, a lot cheaper to maintain, because they'll spend a lot more time traveling, which is what their plan was. But, I mean, if you want to travel out to, Yellowstone or visit the national parks, you can bring your camper van.
Totally.
And sleep there at night, and not have to... Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a cool idea. It's totally something I would do because I kind of like camping out, but long term you're going to want...
I like it for about a week, and that's about...
Well, and that's the nice thing about this is that, for long term, you can camp in this thing when you trip, or, halfway through the trip, you can schedule, a few nights in a hotel if you want somewhere and just park it in the, the lot so you can have, a real nice full bathroom, room, and everything for a while. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. It seems kind of fun, though. I don't know. I'm sure I'll end up taking a trip with them somewhere because they were talking about how they got, the beds can fold out and you can sleep like 3 or 4 people in the front and, 2 people in the back. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. That'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Much more exciting than, I don't know, just going somewhere in Wisconsin. You can actually go on a long-term trip,
Yeah.
I don't know. I always think about, like, what would I do when I retire? Like, what would my life consist of? Because you got to think of, like, when you retire, you got to have something to do. Because people talk about, like, that's what people die.
People say that, but I don't think that's true.
It's completely true, though. It's actually, I'm pretty sure I've read that there is some legitimacy to that, because when you are occupied and busy, I guess your brain... like works harder, so it's easier to not slip into dementia, I guess, because your brain is focusing on tasks instead of just relaxing all the time.
I guess that makes sense.
Keeps your mind a little sharper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of one of those things that you can kind of relax into your body just not having to keep itself active. So you just kind of. I know it does, but it sounds amazing for a couple weeks. But I'm sure you'd. And you know this because you lived in that despair apartment.
Yeah.
And my despair apartment, of course, is when I was unemployed for 9 months.
Yeah.
After I left my medical software engineering job and, sat unemployed for 9 months it's kind of fun for a while, like just hanging out playing games, and then it's just like I don't have any money. I feel like a slob
but,
because
that's
I don't.
The thing. Like, if I had money, I would never do anything.
You would do things.
Well, yeah, I would just do things that
you want to do.
Entertain me, though. I would never do anything productive.
Yeah, I'd probably spend more time on the podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if I had money and I didn't have anything to do, I would just record shows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Record videos and shows, and that would be literally like when I think about it, like if I won the lottery, my life would be I would just record stuff and put it on like a website, build like an entertainment site, and that's it. Just for myself, and and I don't have to worry about paying a salary because I can just pay myself out of my lottery winnings.
Yeah, and
that would be what I would do. I would even fucking probably rent like a fucking studio space. You know what I mean? Like an office space.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it wouldn't be that much, to rent an office space, a small one. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Look forward to John winning the lottery and setting up a more business-like office for this. Thank you. You can thank the Mexican food I ate for lunch for that.
Nice.
For dinner, actually. Because I was at a bachelor party today.
Really?
Yeah, for a John Peterson.
Oh.
Who was mentioned in the wee hours of the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting married in a couple weeks. So we went up to the Dells, which was kind of annoying because I didn't really feel like driving up to the Dells just to hang out. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like when I get married, my bachelor party, I just kind of want to hang out. You know what I mean? Get a lot of friends over, drink a bunch, play video games, watch funny movies with my friends. Maybe go out for dinner somewhere and like go to like an arcade if we can still find one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just hang out. Not like go somewhere. But anyway, that's what we ended up doing there because we just basically sat in the hotel room and drank and shot the shit. And then we went to the Dells attraction of choice. It is Zombie Outbreak. And it's like a laser tag haunted house kind of situation.
Really?
Yeah. So you pay your fee to get into this place, and it's kind of like laser tag, but you're not shooting each other; you're shooting zombies. And it's a cool idea on face value, and it's basically a haunted house, but you shoot at the things that pop out at you.
That's kind of neat, yeah.
It is kind of neat, and you shoot at people. Like there are people in costumes that pop out at you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you shoot them, their little alarm goes off, and then they stand there, like motionless for a little while. And then they'll be able to move again because they said like 6 seconds. So you're supposed to keep moving. But it's really cool. Kind of a neat experience. They give you like you can choose different gun packages that are vary in price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can get like a little like a submachine gun type gun, or you can get like an M16 type gun, or you can get like an M16 and a pistol. And then, like, another one, which was, like, M16, a pistol and, like, a tactical vest that protects you from getting bitten, which lowers your score, I guess. But, it seemed like a cool place. It was kind of fun to do because it's kind of like a haunted house, but, like, you feel more active in it.
Yeah.
And we went with a group of 5 and actually kind of had a little bit of a fun, like, running around, like, trying to, like, get ahead and not get caught by these guys popping out of the walls, basically. But it's $25 we paid, to do it, and I mean it's a 10-minute experience. So it's really expensive. The guns are awesome because they're like maybe not authentic weight, but pretty close. I mean that M16 weighed like 10 pounds. So, you know what I mean? Like, it actually had some real heft to it. It didn't feel like a plastic toy gun.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have chambers inside them with CO2 cartridges. So when you fire, it kicks.
That's awesome,
just a tiny bit, Yeah. Like and a little puff of air comes out, So it feels like you're actually firing it because you get a little bit of that kick when you pull the trigger. And that was really fun. And you get 150 rounds, they say, but I never even got close to using them all up. But yeah, it was fun. And we said it was a bachelor party, and they let us go through a second time for free.
Nice.
That was really cool of them. So, Zombie Outbreak in the Dells. It's actually kind of fun. I think it's a little pricey And definitely, I would suggest if you do go there, don't buy the extra package, because we went with the $25 option instead of the $20 option. And while the M16 was kind of fun to hold, it didn't seem like it was any better than the other gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same price. So, you know. I had fun, though. It was definitely worth it, you know, have an experience. And Eric screamed like a little girl multiple times. Because I think he got put in the rear, and they kept popping out and attacking him. And he was like, get moving! I keep getting attacked here. That was fun. Yeah, it was a cool experience. And then we went to the Ho Chunk Gaming Casino after that, and I lost $80 in craps in probably about 18 minutes.
Ooh.
Tables were not kind. But, you know, I withdrew $80 from the bank, and I was like, this is my gambling money that I will lose and then stop. And I usually hope to spend a lot more time losing it, but it was unkind.
Yeah.
And the Bachelor, Petey, terrible. He threw when he was throwing the dice, fucking awful. Like so you know how craps works?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so you know you get to roll first, and you have to roll like a 4, 5, 6, 8, 10.
Right.
And if you roll that, then the idea is you're trying to roll that a second time, and you win. And you know as long as you don't roll a 7, you don't crap out. So. He rolls a 3, first roll, which is crap, and you lose your bet.
Yeah.
And then he rolls a 3 again with the second one, and it's like, Petey, what the fuck? Like, that's $10 gone right there.
Yeah.
And then he rolls a 7, and we win. And then he rolls an 11, and we crap out again. And it's like, Petey, what the fuck? Or no, he rolls a snake eyes. And it was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And then he rolled a 10, so we were in the game, and then he immediately crapped out. I lost $20 in 5 minutes.
Wow.
It was my last 20 too, and I was like, I'm done. Like I was gonna roll next, but I was like, I'm not putting my last 20 down. I'm done.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like that's how craps works though. But we had fun. We played for. I exaggerate. We probably played for a good 35, 40 minutes. And it's fun, rolling the dice with your buddies and, betting. And it was worth maybe not 80. I probably would have been more happy losing 40 or 50. But, I don't know. That's how it goes. We had fun. And all the blackjack tables were completely packed beyond all fucking belief. So we were going to play blackjack, but we couldn't. So that was my weekend. I just got back from that now, actually, to record this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they were going out to a dance club, and I didn't want to go because,
Yeah.
I'm not single.
Yeah.
And, it's just like, I don't like dance clubs anyway because they're crowded, and I hate being in crowded rooms. And it's loud. I was like, I'm going home. And so I came home. And I also had an excuse because I wanted to record with my good pal Adam.
Yeah.
Boop-a-doo. So what's up?
So we're recording.
That's my life. All right. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Video games. What's happening in the world of video games today, Adam?
I don't know what's happened this last week in video games because all I've
playing?
been doing is playing Divinity Original Sin.
All right.
I played it like 4 hours a day. Pretty much.
Okay.
It's great. It is amazing. It's the best.
Sounds good.
It's the best ever. I don't know what else to say about it.
Like, okay, what? So you've had a lot more. What hour total are you at right now?
I am approaching 30, I think.
And this is crazy.
Because I don't play that many games, actually. I'm not a big gamer so much.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I like to game, but I don't actually get around to it that much.
Okay. And this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because you are part of the Destiny beta, which has started.
I know, yeah.
And how much Destiny beta have you played?
0.
Wow.
0 Destiny. Although that's not so much, I think, due to Divinity. I mean, it probably is a little bit, but
okay.
I'm still kind of with you on the whole beta thing, whereas I know I'm going to buy the game. I played a little bit of the alpha. I know I'm interested.
Yep.
So at this point, we're not gonna get to keep progress for this. I don't think.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, what's the point? I hate having to play a bunch of them, replay it later.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll play the beta at all. Actually.
Mm-hmm.
I might try a couple of stuff they didn't have in the alpha, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into a beta if I'm going to lose my progress, you know?
Yeah, that's...
Because then I'll end up... Because this has happened to me with games before. Like,
yeah.
I played the open beta, and then the game comes out, and it's like, Yeah,
I played a bunch of the beta, and I don't really want to play anymore.
Now I feel like I played a lot of it, so I don't
Right.
need to get into it. And it's like, well, this is great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's part of it. But yeah, even if I had wanted to, I don't know if it would have gotten a hold of me because Divinity has me in its grip,
Yeah.
its talons, which can be cruel.
Yeah. It is. Is it cruel? Like, what's the worst death you've had? Like the most,
Well,
most like butthole crunchingly bad death.
I think it's happened twice.
Okay.
Which isn't actually that bad. But once, I don't know if you have any idea who Brachus is. He's like a crazy skeleton king type dude. Anyway, he's a future kind of boss character.
Yeah.
Early on in the game, when I was level 3 or so, 3 or 4, I wandered up in that area where his homies are.
Uh-huh.
And he has a bunch of Skelebros. And,
Okay. Is that what their actual name is in the game?
No, I wish.
That would be pretty cool.
It would be cool. But it was kind of deceptive, because a little bit at first I thought I was kind of doing some damage to him. But I was like focus firing on one dude, and it was just like doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I almost killed, I think, one of them. But there was like 5 or 6 of them. And they just destroyed me. And also, I think I ran into some fire elementals a little bit early.
Ah.
And they kind of...
They torched you?
Yeah.
They torched you.
You kind of have to figure out that... and maybe you probably haven't gotten this far, but I'll give you a little advice. Start towards when you start leaving the city.
Yep.
Go out the west side first. Not the southwest, but like the northwest side. And kind of work your way east.
Yeah.
Because I started out kind of, I think, a little bit in the other direction. And I continually was getting destroyed until I hit left side.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. Awesome. But yeah. It's good.
All right.
I just murdered somebody who I really wanted to murder.
Yep.
And it was great. Because when I got to the fight, I thought I was about the right level. And I was. But that fight was...
But you weren't prepared.
Exactly. It was way tougher than I thought. Like, I've been like trashing everybody up to that point. And then this was a pretty hard fight. And I was a little bit worried at first that something was horribly wrong. But I ended up like beating him, and it felt really good. It felt really good. Which is why that game was great, because you really have to earn a lot of the things that you accomplish in it. Kind of like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
One of my favorite...
Yeah.
Huh?
Nope, keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of my favorite parts is there's kind of a little small enclave of like fiery elementally guys in the top left. And I started fighting them, and they just they whoop me first off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized like I could just, from the very start of the combat, even outside of combat, cast rain in that area. Yep. And it completely like changed the tables of that fight.
All right.
Because they were using all kinds of fucking burny stuff. I mean, they weren't able to burn me. It's stuff like that makes the game super cool to me.
It is. Like, I played a little bit of it, and I got through the tutorial, and there's stuff that, and one of the really cool things I did in that game was, so there's like poison, like gas, like traps and shit that are like going on, and the and it's like, oh, burn it with fire to ignite it so that you don't get hit by it. And I was like, oh, that would be excellent if I had the ability to use fire, but I don't have any abilities that have fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had a knight and a geomancer, both of which don't do fire things. And, I didn't have any way to shoot arrows either. So it's kind of like, I can't get to these areas. But I thought creatively, and you can lift and move items.
Yeah.
So I lift and moved a candle.
Yes.
And it exploded all of it. And I was like, oh shit, that's awesome.
It is awesome.
Like, I was able to just throw a candle basically into it, and it worked. And I was like, that is really cool. Like, way to, like, this feels really good and complete. And I feel like I'm engaged. And, like, one of the worst things in games is, like, when you go through, you go through a game and you hit those, like, boundaries.
Invisible walls kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, what the, like...
It's never worse in a game than when you want to do something and you realize you can't. Yeah.
Where that was, like, literally a moment where it's like, I really wanted to, have this weird way workaround to work, and it totally did. And I was like, it rewarded my coming up with a unique way to finish, the thing, and it totally worked. So that's awesome.
It is. It's really cool. Stuff like that makes it really cool.
All right. So I got a lot of video game news.
Okay.
That's coming up.
Cool.
First one we'll say, Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah. Cancel.
They have no less explosions. So they have a beta apparently going on still.
Really?
Or no, they don't. So they've gone the beta feedback to change a lot of the, I guess, some of the make some changes in the game. So they, did a pretty thing. So, like, for instance, a couple changes includes a reduction in explosive frequency. So the idea is that they're going to have less explosions going on, which makes sense in a game where you're cops and robbers. Updated displays, longer match rounds, because some of the matches were going really fast. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it looks like maybe they're trying to make some good choices here, but, I just figured I'd follow up since I did play the beta and talk about it. Mm-hmm. Which, it seems like it's kind of ridiculous what's happening with this game because, they're saying they don't want to, make the game any less fun to play, but they also want to make it a little bit more realistic, but it's never going to be, any more realistic. It's going to not, I don't know. It just seems like a fun idea that's impossible without building a game from ground up,
Yeah.
Like you can't just use the Battlefield engine and get a game like what you want,
Right.
Battlefield. Yep. It's next up. The Wizard from the Moon line is not in the game anymore of Destiny.
No.
They removed it.
Why?
I know. That's fucking bullshit. Caving in on this shit.
That is bullshit.
They made a t-shirt of it too. Like, I don't know. So in the beta, actually, I listened to an audio clip.
Yeah.
And you can hear they changed the voice a lot with the Peter Dinklage. It's all...
Damn it.
It's all... Well, not... It's all... They added a pass over it, and it sounds a little bit more robotic-y now.
I liked it when it just sounded like a person.
I know. I actually really liked it, too. I don't know what people... And this is bullshit. Like, why would they change it?
Yeah,
like,
I don't
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. I hate it when people change things in response to criticism.
Yeah.
It's just like... It wasn't really valid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I understand you think it sounds weird, but I don't know. It was one line out of context. Like, who knows? Because you don't know anything about the lore. You know what I mean? Maybe a moon from the wizard is really boring.
Wizard from the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I said moon wizard.
You said a moon from the wizard.
Oh, whoops.
No, you never want to see that.
No. You don't want to see a moon from a wizard. You're going to die.
Yeah.
The moon will crash on you and you'll be dead. Before we move on in video game news, I played a ton more World of Warcraft.
Of course.
Because that's all I do. Because there's a fucking increased drop rate of the epic or the legendary cloak items you need to collect this week. So, playing a lot more of that. I played a little bit more of that. I got through the tutorial area and I did a funny thing in that where I put one of those candles over the gas, and it kept exploding constantly.
Oh, yeah, because some of those are like pipes.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a pipe, though. I didn't know how to stop it from piping out, because there's a chest.
Or crate on them.
I did, but... Oh, there must be another pipe I wasn't seeing then.
Sometimes there's two, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. All right. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. So it kept exploding forever, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah, whatever. I was like, just leave that. Next person that comes in is going to be like, what the fuck? Like, just constant explosions coming on.
Damn it.
Yeah. So, all right. Next one.
Okay.
This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Russia Today. The news channel.
Yeah.
They had the great news channel that's just awesome and full of integrity. Russia Today used a screenshot from Konami's game Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, to introduce a segment on child soldiers.
Oh, what?
Because there's a clip in the game where there's, like, child soldiers.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a game screenshot. And I don't know. I guess when I originally read this, I thought maybe they were thinking it's real. Like, the screenshot from the game, I mean, it doesn't look real at all. I mean, it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of a thing now. Apparently this has happened a few times. ITV in 2011 apologized for faking some footage by using Arma 2 to get some combat footage.
Really?
And they like have it like blurred a lot, so it kind of looks like that, but it's actually not. It's Arma 2, so
that's ridiculous.
I guess a Danish news channel used a screenshot from Assassin's Creed to show like what Damascus looked like a long time ago. But I mean, like, you know, that's kind of an interesting actual use of it, because they kind of recreated Damascus, and of course there was the Fox and Friends BioShock Infinite logo.
The Damascus one's probably the most legitimate, but
I know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, still that's kind of ridiculous.
All right, do you want some news that's going to make you not want to live on this planet anymore?
Yeah, I think I know it's coming, and God, okay.
Well, this is video game news still.
Is it? Okay.
You don't know what this is.
Okay.
I'm going on a loop here, and we're gonna end on a high note.
Okay, good.
Okay. So the low note first. It's not, though. Kim Kardashian's game, like, she has a mobile game. Mm-hmm. The mobile game Kim Kardashian Hollywood, game featuring, Kim Kardashian, is forecast to make $200 million this year.
You are fucking kidding me.
Nope. She has made the game featuring her. It's a role-playing game, supposedly. There's a rabid fan base, clearly.
Man.
But this is actually interesting because, so this article is more, it's like, this fucking Kim Kardashian's making a ton of money off a game. But this guy from Drexel University game design program says, what's actually interesting about this is that if the gameplay was horrible, it probably wouldn't make as much money as it would. It would get some things, some fans. But apparently, like, the underlying gameplay is actually pretty straightforward, like an RPG. So, like, you're kind of leveling up your Hollywood star person.
Yeah.
And, you're, like, getting rewards and getting, like, new gear and outfits and, like, stuff to outfit your, like, Hollywood home. And then, you keep, like, upgrading, like, your character and buy... it's like literally...
That actually sounds cool.
This is like Dungeons and Dragons or any other role-playing game, like wish fulfillment. Like, you want to be a star, or like D&D, you want to be a badass, like, fucking fantasy fighter.
Right.
So it's like, this is a way you can do it. And so apparently, the game actually is like a decent game. Like, so it's like they have made this game, it's not like your typical bullshit, like, fucking cash-in game. It's actually, not horribly built. And it's kind of a neat idea, actually, and they did a good job. So
cool.
But so Kim Kardashian is basically making money by not doing. But think about it this way: the video game creation team that made that, that just used her likeness and everything, they're reaping the benefits because they made a successful game too. So good for them, and they'll probably move on to make things that they want to more than that. But anyway, so last piece of video game news before we move on here. Dota 2 International is happening right now.
Yes.
And by the time that we're done, it'll be over. By the time this episode's out, it's over. But some interesting...
The whole international?
What?
I thought it was just like the opening round stuff. Or...
No, this is the championships right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's this weekend, I think. No, it's next weekend.
Yeah.
No, but they're doing the first parts of the bracket right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is. I'm sorry. I didn't want to lose.
Because it takes
when is the actual date? I gotta look this up.
I don't know.
When to watch? Here it is. International's main event begins Friday, July 18th.
Really?
It's this weekend. For some reason, I thought it was next week. Well, anyway. So you got your teams: Newbie, Invictus Gaming, Team DK, Cloud9, LGD, Vici, Evil Geniuses, Na'Vi, who are heavily featured in the free-to-play movie, which actually you can watch on YouTube as well. I would really recommend it because I don't know anything about like Dota at all, but I've watched some matches, but I don't know very much. Documentary is extremely well done. I mean, it like follows these kids, kind of showing them growing up and getting into games and stuff.
Sorry, what's it on? What can you watch it on?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the episode.
Cool.
Heck, I can embed it probably even.
Yeah.
But it's really a good watch. Like, and it's an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not super long.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the teams, there's a lot of Chinese teams that are really good. That's Newbie, who apparently has kicked ass today in the first thing. So
something I had heard was that like last year's defending champions were actually kicked out super early.
Yeah, Alliance I think isn't in the championship right now.
Yeah.
EG, I think EG today, Evil Geniuses, which is an American team, which is I think the American team, kind of didn't have a great day today, which is sad. Na'Vi, of course, the real star is Dendi, who's Danilo Ishutin. He's I think Ukrainian. Yeah, they're Ukrainian.
Yeah.
So they're probably having a great time right now, but they're not in Ukraine right now. They're in fucking Seattle playing video games. But so yeah, that documentary really talks about that Dendi guy a lot, and it kind of shows some of his gameplay and his style really hit it off, I guess. He had some epic matches at the end where he was just destroying everybody, and they kind of go into it. And the way the movie works, it's actually really cool because like it shows like the game like match happening from like replay, like the way you can watch it, and then it like zooms in and they have like CG of like the monsters like fighting each other and like kind of an epic duke out. So it's pretty cool actually.
That's funny.
So like explain how like a fight went down in the thing, and then they like kind of zoom in and show like them doing the characters. So like there's a moment where the Na'Vi is fighting the Chinese team eHome, which was just dominating everyone, but Na'Vi was able to beat them early on, and then they're facing them in the finals. And spoiler, sorry, I guess, but this takes place in 2011, so it's years old at this point. And Navi's facing them in the finals, and there's a monster called Roshan, which is like a giant monster in the middle of the map that your team can fight, and then he drops a really good item. And so they're all fighting Roshan, and then the Chinese team, which they had beaten up, and so they had to respawn. So they were like, okay, let's kill Roshan before they respawn. They come down and start attacking everyone. And Dendi, playing Puck, uses this teleportation move, and like just split-second perfect times it teleports out and freezes all of their entire Chinese team, and like freezes all of them. And and so like they're able to like finish off the guy basically. Like they were gonna get totally attacked because they were weak from fighting him, and it's like an epic like save. Like they show like the crowd reaction, everyone just explodes and like cheers and like, and they're showing this on ESPN this weekend, by the way. Dota 2, it's on ESPN 3. Like so this is on television,
not the Ocho.
No, not well. I think ESPN 3 isn't TV. I think it's their web-based channel.
Oh, is it?
But yeah, they show like college games and stuff on there too sometimes. But that's pretty badass,
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a real sport. And that brings me to my news article. This is crazy. Dota 2 champs are going to be paid more than Super Bowl and World Series winners.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So the combined prize pool this year, which is funded just by people buying the compendium things.
Yeah.
14 teams, 5 players each. Winning team is getting $5 million. A cool $5 million. That is a team of 5 winning $5 million.
Yeah.
So that's $1 million each, not counting a lot of teams have managers as well, so I'm sure they're going to each cut to their manager. But that's near to $1 million, for each of them. So this article on Polygon's really good. Compares them like this money, $1 million, to like what different people make. So like the U.S. Open, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The golf.
Yep.
Championship. Rory McIlroy from Northern Ireland will win $1.2 million if he wins it. So he's going to make more than the international. The British Open, of course, goes back to 1860, and the international is 4 years old.
Yep.
So, all right, money's jumping up there. World Series, the Red Sox got $23 million for winning the 2013 World Series. So a full share after division. Each player got $300,000. That's, of course, on top of their regular salaries they're making.
Right.
But then again, these Dota teams, these pro players, I think, earn salaries often from their teams because they have sponsorships and things.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they have sponsorships, they're probably getting paid.
A lot of the big pro teams, actually, these people make a living just working, and then they get this prize money. So that's the World Series. Super Bowl. NFL players, according to each, I guess this is very, static, the bonuses for playing in the postseason. Most anyone could have earned was $180,000. So the Seahawks. So that's interesting. That you only win per game played in the Super Bowl, not whether or not you win. NBA Finals, they made $4 million split between all the players on the team. Yeah, so there you go. Hell, World Cup, more than the World Cup even. The World Cup champions. Each World Cup German player who won the World Cup got, $400,000. So,
yeah,
fucking shit, man. This is some real shit. Esports is going to explode, especially when this type of money is changing hands.
Yeah.
When you got players each winning $1 million, that's a big deal. That's going to, and that's what brings people to the sport, though. You know what I mean? People wouldn't play a sport if there wasn't money in it. You'll have fun with it, but you're not going to choose it as a career option. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If baseball players didn't get paid anything, people would have fun playing it, but nobody would be serious about it. And so, with this happening, it's, I think it's going to be a big deal. So,
yeah,
look forward to that. I think it's really cool because, it's fun. And
totally.
It's
Yeah.
another sport. So that's all. That's my video game news, huh?
I also heard something about didn't Evo recently finish up too, the fighting game?
Yeah, Evo finished up last weekend. It was, I think.
And I guess for the first time has been the winning character was a female character, Rose, I guess.
Oh, from
Street Fighter.
From Street Fighter, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
awesome.
That's just a neat little tidbit I heard.
Yeah, nice. Ladies kicking ass.
Yep.
In the game, probably played by a guy. But
yeah, I think so.
It's the fighting game community, and they have all sorts of issues with women.
Yeah.
That it doesn't need to get it into.
No, we don't need to dive into that, I don't think.
No. All right. All right. One more thing. Oh, okay. Next topic. DashCon. Did you read the article I sent?
So I think I read part of this one.
Okay. The ball pit.
Yeah,
This is kind of interesting because, you'll see, I'll see, con conventions in, Madison. They're, regional, anime con conventions and things. And it's always what is this? You know what I mean? What is up with cons? Why do people go to cons?
Well, I was thinking about going to that one.
In Madison?
Yeah, the pen and paper one.
Yeah.
Strictly because I want to see my equivalent of a movie star DM.
Yeah.
Perkins.
Yeah, of course. You get to play a real good DM game.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, it might be neat. To me, it's one of those things where if it's something where I get to see the people who are creators and stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, I like this thing.
Let's all get together and like this thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, this DashCon story is incredible, and let's walk through it here.
Okay.
Whew. So, what article on Daily Dot? It's extremely well written. If you just look up fucking DashCon controversy, you'll find this article. It is comprehensive and incredible. All right. So DashCon is basically Tumblr's answer to VidCon, which I think is a YouTube convention, if I remember. God, I gotta look this up. I don't even know what VidCon is. I think so. Anyway, so this is like the Tumblr equivalent. This is the Tumblr blog equivalent, animated GIFs and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different fandoms. Apparently there's something called Super Wholock fandom, which is Doctor Who,
Is it?
Supernatural, and Sherlock, all that fandom together as like one fandom. I don't know.
Well, I do.
Like all three.
Yeah.
Well, that means you're a Super Wholock, Adam.
That sounds like an awesome. Is that a class I can take?
Maybe.
Can I be
I
a
hope
Super
so.
Wholock?
I want to be a Super Wholock. I am too, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
There's Welcome to Night Vale.
I've
guess
never
it's
heard of
pretty
that
big.
before.
You should look into it because it's pretty awesome.
Really? What
Yeah.
is it?
Well, Welcome to Night Vale is a podcast, I guess.
Really?
Pretty sure. I gotta look this up. I thought it was.
I recognize the third one, which is Attack on Titan, which happens to be an awesome anime.
Yeah. So yeah, here it is. All right, it's a radio show. Yeah. So Welcome to Night Vale is awesome. It's been on since 2012. It's 50 episodes. It's a podcast presented as a radio show for a fictional town of Night Vale.
Oh, kind of like the Lake Wobegon type thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like there's just like a supernatural shit going on in the town, and they kind of bill it as like a radio show.
That sounds awesome.
Exactly. It's really cool.
So far, everything that's been mentioned here, I really like.
Yeah, if the show has been described as the news from Lake Wobegon as seen through the eyes of Stephen King.
Nice.
So yeah, it's really cool actually, and I definitely recommend people listening to it. I know a lot of people from the Little Podcast Network speak very highly of this show. So yeah, it's really cool. So they were going to be there at this show doing a panel, which is really cool. This was in Chicago, so we could have went.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Yeah, next DashCon. Well, this isn't even the first one. So I'm pretty sure they've had multiple ones before this, or at least one. Okay, so let's go through it. Tumblr's Con tickets went on sale in summer 2013 with the convention planned for July 11th to 13th. The Schaumburg Renaissance Convention Center in Illinois, so that's a suburb of Chicago.
Yep.
Weekend pass, $65. Little pricey.
That when I was looking at it was like $80. So.
Oh wow.
VIP.
Well, but that's like VIP extra.
That's all 3 days.
Yeah, that's different though. This is 2 days. Day pass is $30 to $50. Plus, your typical hotel rental that you'll have to get when you're there just to stay.
Yeah.
Whereas Comic-Con San Diego, 45 days, $45 a day. So it's about the same price as the biggest comic convention, which is a bit pricey.
That's a day pass, it says.
I know, but when your day pass is $30 and Comic-Con's $45, you're going to expect a lot there.
Yeah, I suppose.
So July 11th, most attendees already on site. This is the Friday that it's going to begin. DashCon staff members said that they would be thrown out of the hotel unless $17,000 was paid before 10 p.m.
What?
I know. So I got So pretty much, I think they got everyone together at this fucking like convention, and they had like a meeting to like open it, and they were like, "Hey guys, the hotel said if we don't pay them $17,000 right now, they're going to kick us out." And these are people that have already paid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
These are people with a weekend pass.
Yeah.
DashCon managed to raise the $17,000 in cash and PayPal and donations that evening, which is impressive when you know that there were estimated to be only 100 or only 1,000 people there on Friday night.
Wow.
So that's, $170 per person, basically.
Damn. No. That's $17 per person.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. My math is bad, but anyway.
But still, assuming that not everybody paid their 17, that's kind of crazy.
So there's actually video footage of this amazing event, of them announcing this, and everyone is in their cosplay costumes, and they're asking for donations, and people are just coming up to the people in the front and like dropping off like cash in like a fucking like bin, basically.
Wow.
It's like cash into a hat.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a little shady. I mean,
it's a little bit ghetto.
There's a lot of people here, though. I mean, so that's pretty cool. And of course, now everyone is putting up their hands in the Hunger Games 3-finger salute all together as a solidarity move. Yeah, so it's pretty incredible. They're singing. So they're having fun. They're like, whatever. So, we're each gonna chip in. We got the money. It's cool. I guess the hotel wanted the money. I guess the idea was that they were gonna earn that money through the weekend by having people that didn't buy advance tickets coming in and buying tickets. And they're like, they suspected they don't like the people at the convention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
they're just like being dicks to us and asking for the money ahead. But they said that they didn't need it until after we checked out. So whatever. That's something that happened. Many people saying this is what sucks about Tumblr is just people kind of slapping things together and money. People crying out for the Tumblr people to donate just to have this convention still go. And there are people that weren't even attending that were donating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is what happened. So not getting into too much how this fell apart, but hundreds of people bonded together. Being the camera. I mean, you watch that video. Everyone seems really excited to be there. And they're all hanging out, and
that's good at least.
Yeah. So let's pony up the money. This person in the article says, whether or not it actually was a scam, it certainly followed an extremely efficient scam formula, separating people from their money as quickly as possible without giving them a chance to think about it too much. Like, shit, we need money, come up here and drop some money in a hat. And, you know what I mean? It's like, boom.
Yeah.
One attendee wrote in a message to the DashCon staff, I donated at least $360 straight out of my bag. Okay, buddy. Wow.
Yeah, no kidding.
Who is so about this fucking... Anyway.
Yeah.
On Saturday, DashCon posted a Tumblr entry entitled The Explanation, which included a photo of the letter on hotel stationery. We worked out a plan with the hotel to give them money slowly for the entire course of the weekend, which is more than 100% feasible for us. However, 12 hours later, one of our admins was unexpectedly pulled into a meeting with higher-level hotel staff, which they were informed they had to procure $20,000 by the end of the night. This is an extremely sudden change. They're not allowed to open, they put us into a place where, they're not going to open for tickets until 7/12, but they wanted it the full amount before we had the walk-in money.
Right.
Which is usually how conventions work. The money they pay, the amount they pay out of money they make at the convention. That's happened before that way, but I want the money up front now. So, DashCon originally projected that 3,000 to 7,000 people would attend the convention, and it would cost upwards of $100,000 to host. Jesus. So much money. People at the convention have already reported that there were definitely no more than 1,500 people in attendance on Friday or Saturday. Like, I don't know. Like, 1,500 people showing up to this, and they're expecting to make $17,000. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened here. Like, but this is just the kind of the tipping point right here, where everyone had to pony up the money at 10 p.m. on a Friday night. You know?
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, this is all right. We're gonna have our convention. So what's going on here? All right, DashCon's money problems inevitably led to another level of disaster. Major guests began to pull out. Welcome to Night Vale took time out of their U.S. tour to do a live performance and Q&A. Of course, they showed up to discover that DashCon was not going to pay their travel and performance costs.
Oh.
And they said, you know what? We're out. We're not going to do it. And so they didn't do it.
That sounds all right.
Let's see here. Famed featured artist Noel Stevenson, who's a Tumblr artist and author. She has some really great art, actually. Was going to do kind of a Q&A and have some stuff. And apparently she hung out on a sofa bed constructed by the Night Vale writers in like a hotel room that they ended up having to pay for.
Wow.
Which sounded like way more fun than being at DashCon, hang out in this fucking Airbnb hotel room that they're in. Sherlock Holmes podcasters, the Baker Street Babes, which apparently is a popular thing. I've never heard of this, but
yeah, neither have I.
Apparently their hotel wasn't going to be paid either, so they just stopped listening to the phone calls from the people at DashCon and didn't show up. Apparently DashCon has talked to them, and now they're going to pay for their hotel room and shit. Let's see here. Just insane. So, like, I think Night Vale, which is the most popular thing there, was kind of the big draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they got this really cool podcast that everybody likes. They're going to do a live show and everything. And all of a sudden, you know, you've paid your money. You may have paid extra money to, like, get this thing to keep going. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, guess what? Fuck you. You know what I mean? We're not going to actually have the show. So it's like, ooh. Whew. So here we go. Here's the real rub behind the whole thing. Do you have this article up? Have you seen any of this?
I read through most of it. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all bad, but here we go. For those of you who had reserved seats, wrote DashCon, referring to the fact that Night Vale was a ticketed event that people were paying extra for, we are giving you guys an extra hour with the ball pit. And this is the infamous DashCon ball pit that is now a meme.
Yeah.
So this ball pit, huh? Have you seen a picture of this?
Is it the actual ball pit?
Are
we sure about that?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
It's not very big.
It's a fucking tiny inflatable pool in which one of the photos it looks like it's mostly deflated and most of the balls are outside of the pit.
Yeah.
It is literally like a inflatable pool that's like maybe 4 or 5 inches deep with maybe 200 fucking plastic balls in it.
It's not very...
I mean, this is literally not even... I mean, okay, so these photos are incredible. It looks like a giant, expansive, empty conference area with like a fucking empty ball pit with just fucking ball pit plastic balls strewn everywhere, a disheveled bouncy castle in the background, and just fucking absolutely no one anywhere. Just empty. Dear God. I mean, this was insane. Okay, and check this out. Each day, they only had 500 tickets available. Which, how are they going to get 3,000 attendees with 500 tickets a day over 2 days? Like, okay. Tumblr user Kirby described as hotel mints being given away as panels for prizes.
Oh.
There was a game room that had a TV and a console hooked up to it, a single television and console.
Wow.
I mean, this literally sounds like someone slapped together a convention to con $17,000 out of people.
It does kind of sound like that.
And this is insane. I mean, none of the convention organizers apparently have ever ran a convention before. holy cow. And you know what I mean? Like, this was like kind of a nightmare of people using this social media, like Tumblr movement, you know, and all these cool things, and and honestly, I don't think that this was some sort of big money stealing conspiracy.
No, I don't think
this
so.
This is very clearly people, people doing a con, getting over their head. Of course, DashCon 2015 is supposedly already available to get tickets, $50 a piece.
Yep, we gotta go now. See how horrible it is.
I know, right? I think honestly more people might go now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So it's pretty crazy. I don't know. This whole story is just incredible. Like it just showing up to this con and it just being a fucking. I mean, it's literally here it is. It is just a ball pit empty in the middle of a fucking empty convention center room. Like that is DashCon.
It looks like it's 5 foot by 5 foot. Like,
it is a tiny fucking ball pit.
There's a picture of like a mannequin in there, and it's taking up most of the space.
Yeah, it's like one person. It's Slender Man actually that you're looking at.
Oh, is it Slender Man?
Yeah, sitting in the ball pit, of course. Yep. So at least you got the ball pit. We'll always have the ball pit.
We'll always have the ball pit.
Yeah. Oh, Noelle Stevenson actually showed up for her panel. Even though she
no moderator,
but apparently the moderator never showed up, so she just moderated her own panel with herself in it as probably the main draw. There's a bunch of videos making fun of this. Apparently, just people wandered in without paying. I mean, it's just clearly garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think honestly it was these people generally wanted to have a convention for their thing. And they're like, let's put it together, let's run it, and nobody knew how to do it, and everything fell apart.
Wasn't like one of the people who like was an organizer, like a 20-year-old person that had experience in the hospitality industry or something like that?
Yeah, I got a degree in hospitality management, and I'm 20. Yeah, like,
exactly.
Okay, buddy. And I think that what happened probably with that $17,000 was the hotel management was like, hey, this doesn't seem very legit what's going on. We better ask for the money up front.
Yeah.
And they did, and oh my God. It's just a fucking clusterfuck nonsense. I mean, I really read the article, watch the videos.
It's an interesting read.
It's some good schadenfreude, and, you know, be wary of some of these small cons. You know,
make sure you're not being conned at the con.
Don't get conned. A con at the con. There's the episode title. Bam.
Con at the con.
Con. Do the con. All right. So that's
con.
Because you con. All right, that's it. That's me. Adam, what do you got?
I'm not sure we have.
What do you talk?
A whole lot of time to talk about it, but there was one interesting thing that I had put out there.
All right.
Are you familiar with the Code Hollywood?
I have no clue what
Hollywood Code
any of this is.
So I didn't realize this, but I kind of fell into a Wikipedia hole at one point.
Well, this Wikipedia article that you linked me is like 7,000 pages long. It is fucking really enormous.
But I guess what I didn't realize is there was a time after silent movies.
Yep.
When sound was out, but there was no real regulation of filming.
Okay.
So they didn't really do like pornos or anything like that, but this was, I guess, a really risque period of film from the late 20s to I think the early 30s.
Wow.
Or from the early 20s to the early 30s. And they featured stuff like, you know, risque situations, crime sometimes, and the good guy not always coming out on top, which is kind of rare in early films. You know, there at a certain point, there actually was a code that was instituted that kind of established the morality of movies at the time.
Yeah.
It's just
I kind of want to see
insane to
some of
think
these
about.
old movies now.
I know. I just got really super interested in it. So yeah, just a little bit of information here. Pre-code Hollywood refers to the era American film industry between introduction of sound in, I guess, its late 20s and enforcement of motion picture production code in 1934. It was actually, I guess, adopted earlier in 1930, but nobody actually followed it. So there's a 5, 6, 7 year period where these movies came out.
Huh.
They included sexual innuendo, miscegenation, profanity, illegal drug use was shown,
Wow.
intense violence, abortion, infidelity, prostitution, promiscuity, and even some homosexuality, which was insane to me to think that there are movies that deal with those topics in the 1920s.
Yeah, definitely.
I suggest you guys take a look at the Wikipedia article if you're interested. It's just it's called Pre-Code Hollywood. But yeah, it goes into all kinds of these movies and stuff that was featured in them. Some of Hollywood's biggest stars like Clark Gable, Barbara Stanwyck, and Edward Robinson got their start in that era. Became popular after that, but they were in some of these movies.
Yeah.
And it was our good friends, the Roman Catholics, who eventually came up with kind of the code and sent the code to the guy who was the head of the regulation committee.
Yeah.
And they adopted that. But yeah, this is that brief period where sound was available in film before there was any kind of real regulation on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also around the time of the Depression, too, so people are just kind of everything's going to hell, and movies are awesome, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds kind of cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, it's just a really interesting time period, and being interested in movies and film and stuff like that, it just really cool. There's definitely some ankle shown and above.
Oh, yeah.
In this, and intimated sexual contact and craziness.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And what interests me too is that there's actually, it seems like a lot of some of the stuff, even though it's considered risque for the time, it's also dealing with some awesome issues that just don't get dealt with
I know.
in Hollywood until much later.
Yeah, I feel like this code seemed to have just kind of sanitized it.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
too much. I mean, I'm sure there was probably a lot of garbage smut movies that were getting put out that's this is bullshit, not great, and, we could do better. But it also seems it kind of made people, afraid to tackle social problems or, gangsters in a more violent way, you know what I mean? We got to make this more, you know what I mean? Like that fucking 1940s type movie.
Exactly, yeah.
Where it's just we're a bunch of gangsters. We're going to go out on the town. You know what I mean? And it's that's not what life was like. You know what I mean?
Actually, I guess Little Caesar is one of the movies that was in this time period, and it actually deals with Al Capone, I believe. Or it's kind of a riff on Al Capone.
Yeah.
And people actually got really upset about it because he was shown kind of in a glorifying light.
Mm-hmm.
Clara Bow, I guess, a big actress in that period.
Yeah.
Known for some risque stuff. But yeah, it's just a little interesting thing that I kind of found myself into and thought people might be interested in.
Yeah. Interesting.
Presbyterian elder William Hayes was the motion picture czar, and it ended up accepting the code that was developed by a Jesuit priest. I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I guess I never really thought of the movies as just having this
It's weird to think because one of the interesting things in here is that at this time period, there was a Supreme Court case, and movies at that time were not considered free speech.
Really?
Yeah, that's part of how this code came to be. Early Supreme Court decided
you can't.
that it was not free speech.
You're gonna ruin America.
Exactly.
With your movies, the moving pictures.
It's so crazy.
We're a bunch of idiots.
And later on, of course, we now consider movies free speech, but
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting when you think about, like, these movies are not really that risque by today's standards, but, like, you think of, like, what you see in, like, the 50s with your fucking, like, father knows best kind of, like, clean 50s and 40s style, you know what I mean? Whereas, like...
Totally. And it's not so much, I think, that...
There's like so there's this movie called Laughter in Hell, apparently,
yeah,
which is already crazy, but supposedly there's like a bunch of like prison stuff in this movie where they're like digging graves and throwing people into graves and killing wardens, and apparently there's a lynching scene in the movie where a bunch of African American men were hanged. Like this is fucking crazy, man. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like, this is actually interesting. So this controversial lynching scene in this movie, Motion Picture Herald expressed concern the events could be very difficult for some African Americans to watch. Writing in New Age Weekly, an African American weekly paper, praised the producers for depicting a scene and in so doing publicizing atrocities which were happening in southern states.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, this is like, this is crazy.
They actually got some stuff out there that it drew attention to things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always find stuff like this really interesting. This kind of censorship thing and the battle between it.
When you think about it, it's like they the church got in and was like, the children, and then they just basically like it honestly like moved film backwards.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Which is like so terrible.
It makes me wonder like what kind of stuff might have come out in the 30s that might now be classics or crazy things.
Which makes me not want to complain more about the video game thing happening right now, but like people complaining about not having a female playable character in Assassin's Creed. It's like, okay, why? Because you think that women need to be more showing up in games, but I mean, like, that's kind of a form of censorship in a way, is that you think that this, rather than censoring something, but it needs to add something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like they should just do what they do. You can't interrupt someone's creative process. You know what I mean? Being critical about it. Like, hey, why weren't there any female characters? We want to play female characters. Maybe when they make the next game, they'll think about it. And that's the way it should go. You're like, oh, I like that movie that you made, but I don't know. I thought you could have had more of this in it, and I thought that scene was really good, and I want to see more of that. And then they do that. That's how it works. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You don't go in and I don't know. I mean, it's kind of what the Code did. You know what I mean? They were like, we don't like this. We need this now. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
bothers me, but it just seems like a type of meddling in a creative process that bothers me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not on the same. It's not on the same level, but it's the same idea as having an opinion about someone else's creative work, that you want them to change it to be more like your vision of what the world should be like.
And I just thought movies were kind of like that from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, but they weren't apparently.
Apparently not. Apparently. It just goes to show it's not really necessarily...
Yeah, exactly.
That people were so much,
What it's telling you is that religious right...
had a louder voice.
Bible beater people having a loud voice kind of turned back time on things a little bit. Probably too far, which is weird. When you think about it, that's kind of how it is, though. Like, because you'll see images of, like, Iran in, like, the 70s.
Yeah.
Nobody's wearing hijabs. Girls are going to college and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as the religious right has come into power there, things have moved way more conservative.
Well, yeah.
Which is weird,
I mean, I think it's Neil deGrasse Tyson who says that if you look at the history of science, all the best discoveries and stuff like that around the turn of like the first millennium, I think it was, were coming out of the Middle East. And in those areas, and in Muslim countries and stuff like that. But then conservatives kind of took control of that, and since then, the proportion of their discoveries to science has decreased dramatically. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just, this is how the Dark Ages happen.
Yeah, basically.
It's
like you don't want this.
Yeah.
You don't censor.
Right.
You don't meddle with science.
Exactly.
You don't meddle with art. You let it be what it is.
Yep. Can't stop the signal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. What else did you have? Adam, do you have anything else? I got some others.
I think I might have one other, but I think I would go ahead and do one of yours. You got a bunch of interesting ones.
I'm saving this con image so I can use it for the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really interested about one of these, but I don't know if I want to go there. So.
Are you talking about nodding?
I am. I don't know.
We'll do that some other time because
do it.
I want to fully more read this and maybe we can find some fan fiction we can maybe
oh god, I don't even
talk some scenes out of. Maybe a bit too far.
That might be a bit too far for me.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. I don't know. I also have another one. We have this mysterious giant hole in Siberia. Did you see this?
I did. I don't really find these super. I mean, these isn't it like just a sinkhole type thing, or
it's not. It's.
Are they sure?
100%. If you look at it.
I'm looking at it right now.
It is very clear that it exploded. There's debris all around the hole.
Is there? Oh yeah, the farther shot.
Yeah, dude. You can watch a video of them going down into it. We'll talk about this another time though, because I think this recently just happened. Mm-hmm. There is a fucking scary ass giant hole though. I mean, it's humongous. This hole.
Yeah.
And I guess they're trying to figure out what it is. What's crazy though is this hole. I guess this video is filmed. With a helicopter. Apparently this is, I think, old. Like, this hole is not new.
Really?
But it's just out there in Siberia in the middle of nowhere. And someone finally helicoptered over it. And honestly, it looks like a giant, like, fucking wormhole. Mm-hmm. Like that a giant underground scary earthworm monster would live and come out of. But there's a lot of theories. And I think we'll let that sit another week for probably people to maybe figure out exactly what it is so we can talk about it.
It looks like it was 1972. It's been... No,
they said that the field was bought by some gas company in 1972.
Oh, okay. No,
but there was a recent survey went over that area and they found it.
Okay, I see.
All right.
Interesting.
Adam, you miss Madison?
I do.
Woman throws guinea pigs at police officers.
Yeah.
You see this article?
This one, I saw it, but I did not read it on purpose because I want you to regale me with what happened here.
I will regale you. A woman insisting on leaving her guinea pigs at a Madison pet store threw the rodents during a confrontation with police.
Oh, God.
Police say the 26...
Is this Lance?
No.
Okay.
Lance didn't throw his hamster. He just set it free in the wilderness, which is an incredible thing to think about now.
I know.
That Lance Kilcoyne, former host of this podcast, had a pet hamster that he released into the wild to die, which is what it did. Okay, it got eaten. I guarantee you it got eaten. Yeah, me too. All right.
A bird of some sort.
Or a bird, yes. An owl, probably. Police say the 26-year-old Madison woman walked into a pet world at 2148 West Beltline Highway around 4 p.m. on a Saturday and tried to leave her guinea pigs with the ones on sale in the store. She was trying to make a return. Manager told police he told her she could take the guinea pigs to the Humane Society. But she scoffed at the suggestion and told the manager it was not his store, but it belonged to the animals.
What the fuck?
This lady. Okay, wait. It belonged to the animals. So you're thinking this is a tree hugger?
Yeah.
Hippy dippy. Officers said they tried to get the woman outside of the store to talk, but she refused and tossed the box full of guinea pigs at the officers.
Oh.
The store employee was able to push the pets to safety as the woman kicked and shouted at the officers. Of course, this woman, I don't know what situation this woman was in which she had a cardboard box of guinea pigs that she must have driven to the store.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not really in walking distance. It's a big mall area. You know, not a lot of places to live around it. So maybe she walked a long way with a bunch of guinea pigs, but I don't know.
It sounds to me like she may have
Is this some sort of drug?
I think
like,
maybe, she might have some.
we got a drug going on. I don't know what drug. Meth?
Well,
I need a mugshot,
I don't know if it's
suppose.
necessarily drugs, but it may be some kind of mental
illness?
Yeah.
Someone not being on their correct meds.
Yeah, possibly. Like, maybe.
Very possible. But a store employee was able to push the pets to safety, so they were okay.
That's good.
And the store manager told police he would take care of the guinea pigs and give them a good home if their true owner no longer wanted them. So
she got her way after all.
The woman was arrested on suspicion of disorderly conduct, trespassing, and resisting an officer.
Is it really suspicion at that point?
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Wait.
No,
so are you saying a guinea pig is
I
a
know,
deadly weapon?
No, I'm not. How cool would that have been?
That would be cool.
If they were just like, assault with a deadly weapon, guinea pig. Oh, man. Nope. Sadly not.
I'd like to see that argued in court.
No, I know, right? That would be great. And they would have, like, tests where guinea pigs would be hurled at people. Or, like, not guinea pigs. They wouldn't hurt the animals, but, like, guinea pig analogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
ballistic gel guinea pigs.
Yeah, ballistic gel guinea pig being thrown at, like, a human, like, they have, like, a catapult.
Exactly.
Where they launch guinea pigs. Oh, man. I'd love to see that.
I would, too.
All right, so I got the nodding thing, and I got another Kickstarter one, but you know what? We'll save that for another week.
Okay.
There's an epic Kickstarter failure.
Yeah,
we'll talk about
that.
A humongous. We're talking $500,000 worth down the drain here.
Yeah, that's brutal.
All right, but there may be a happy ending for that, but we'll wait another week because I always harp on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a week off.
Okay.
Because we got a question for the podcast.
Yeah.
From Brett.
Yeah, we do. Thank you, Brett.
You crossed out his last name.
I did.
Adam. Oh, that's nice of you. But anyway, was this from the website comment form or did he email us?
It was from the comment form.
Yes, because I know this guy's emailed us before, so they're using the thing.
Yes.
All right.
Apparently they, meaning our listeners, are. Yes.
Yes. All right. Always enjoy the podcast, he says. All right.
Yep.
Though Ostrich Tango made this week particularly unproductive as I went down a deep YouTube hole of speed runs, which we talked about, of course.
That's rough, yeah.
You may have involved all of the Mega Mans, of course. Those speed runs are incredible because that game is quite technical.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He brings up the question, though. If someone offered you $10,000 to spend 3 months becoming an expert in one game, which would you choose?
This is a great question.
Would it be a game that you could be the fastest as getting through, or a game with a huge world to explore? Would it be different if we limited to console games with like no MMOs or anything? I don't know. So I thought about this a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't know if I would want like a Twitch action game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not very good at like video games. If people that have ever seen me play video games will know that my skills will not pay the bills. Although the bill has already been paid in this situation. Right, $10K for 3 months. But an expert in one game. So it's not like a speed run. This is like becoming an expert.
Well, I mean, he says, would you try to do,
I wouldn't go for the speed.
Neither would I.
I think that, honestly, I would want to become an expert in an MMO. Because I absolutely love open worlds and, like, giant, expansive, like, exploration games. Like, like, for me, that's kind of the way I was with World of Warcraft. Like, I played so much of that game that I fucking just knew that world up and down and all the cool nooks and crannies and secrets, and I loved that shit. I mean, like, just that's kind of how I like games, though. I've always found myself as like an explorer. Like, I like to like explore.
I do too. And I thought about that for Guild Wars.
Yep.
But I think that MMOs are just... I love Guild Wars. It's really the only MMO that does anything for me.
Yep.
But it's still not really, top of my game list.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, so cutting MMOs out, like for me, I guess if I had so I'm getting paid, so I can spend all day doing this,
Sure.
making videos, doing fun stuff. Let's see here. I think I would. Did you have a game in mind? I'm narrowing it down.
Well, I think it would probably have to be... It would almost have to be Final Fantasy Tactics, because I think that's pretty much the only one I could play for that long.
Yeah.
It would have to be something that... That's my favorite
this
game.
is a game you...
It would probably be something like Final Fantasy Tactics that was similar, but I didn't know quite as well. That I could actually...
Like maybe Disgaea, those games?
Oh, that's... The problem with Disgaea is it has, one of those infinite holes that you can't really...
Oh, but you could if you had 3 months.
No, I mean infinite, randomized level type stuff that...
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. But...
There's systems on systems on systems in that game. 3 months would not be enough. I would almost say something like... Now that I've played Divinity, something like Divinity, but that's not really something I'd probably really care to get to know on that kind of level.
Yeah.
I need something that's crunchy enough that I could kind of get into the mechanics of it, but something still...
Yeah. I've got my game.
Okay, what's yours?
Minecraft.
Oh.
Fuck yeah. And I'm not talking about just base Minecraft.
Yeah,
I want, give me...
Mods.
Feed the Beast mod pack, or something like that that's got all these crazy complicated things in it. And my goal in 3 months would be an expert on how everything works in that mod pack. You tell me you want this built, I want you to build a factory that creates, wheat. I want a wheat farm, automated, all that stuff. I'd be like, boom, I know how to do that. I go make it and it looks badass and awesome. That's what I would spend. Cause I love, I'm a Lego kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just the ability to plan and build my own things. So that's what I want. I want to become an expert in a mod for Minecraft. That's what I would do. And I'd make a mint making videos of me building shit.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's what all of YouTube is. It's crazy. The yogscast, they kind of made their lives on this, and they have a fucking company founded on fucking making World of Warcraft and Minecraft videos.
Well, they've kind of branched off now into just games in general, but yeah.
Oh yeah, games in general now. But I mean, they began big time with Minecraft,
weren't they originally a World of Warcraft podcast?
Not podcast. I think it was more of a dicking around
or guild or
group.
Something.
Yeah, it was a guild.
Yeah.
Ye Old Goon Squad
right.
is what that stands for. But yeah, so the Oxcast people were that, and they did. Yeah, so I don't know, but I'll look at videos like that, and they'll have other videos that are hey, and it's a name I've never heard of, so and so man, and they've got all these logos and shit, and they have 400,000 views.
Yeah,
and it's who is this random person?
Yeah.
You have these celebrities that have been doing this for years, getting a million views this episode, and then you have this random fucking person I've never heard of that's got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
It's that's it, man. That's where it is. Except for that's all over. I posted a really interesting article about that too. So for you, it's going to be tactics. Sorry, I don't want to change subjects.
No, I was just... I think I might have to go with tactics on that.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
You love that game.
I do love that game. And
there's basically infinite strategy
there's
in that,
definitely more to learn on it, I think. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me see. I tweeted a Eurogamer article. It was really interesting to me. Blurred Lines. This is a really great article, too. Eurogamer.
Yeah. Are
YouTubers breaking the law?
Oh, by streaming video of
games?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. So that's not exactly what it is. But, these are... And I've never watched a PewDiePie video, but apparently it's something that exists.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them.
What is it?
It's a Swedish guy acting weird.
It's
sometimes entertaining.
Is it too weird though?
It's pretty out there.
Like I like Animaniacs humor. But like, is this beyond that? Because that's pretty zany.
No, I don't think it's beyond that.
Okay, well, I like it.
I don't know.
Of course, there's
it's not
There's Total Biscuit, of course. TB.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff. John Bain, of course. But this is the interesting thing that kind of makes me feel dirty, I guess. Actually, I think John Bain recently. I think he got diagnosed with cancer recently.
Yeah, he did. Well,
is he going to be?
Actually, last I knew, he thought he probably had it.
So maybe
I don't know if I actually got confirmation that he did have it or not.
Does he? We need to know. Does John Bain have cancer?
You can probably find out faster than I can.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to literally Google search John Bain cancer.
But yeah, there were definitely rumors.
I read a thing about that.
Yeah, I saw a video actually where he talked about. I think he was having a biopsy done or something like that, and they said
diagnosed with cancer.
It's probably cancer. So.
Cancerous mass is colon cancer.
Yeah.
Whew. He's young too.
Yeah.
Real young.
He's like 30s, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get past this. All right. So that's bad. But the videos he's doing, and I gotta give this guy some credit. I know a lot of people have had some tiffs with him in the past. Of course, like every single person that makes money on YouTube, he's British.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's a prerequisite.
Well, PewDiePie is Swedish and.
Kjellberg, 28 million subscribers. Jesus. But anyway, Total Biscuit's got 1.7 million. But regardless, number. It is a very significant number. But in 2010, a video game publisher asked him to create a video about one of its titles. He's being very kind and not naming them. They agreed to pay for the coverage so long as I agreed not to say anything negative about the game. It was the first of many deals that he's seen since then, from posting a product link in the YouTube description to elaborate ad campaigns. Bain was asked not to disclose the nature of content to his viewers. So he was saying, hey, do these videos, but don't say that they're ads. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't say anything bad. Of course, he refused, which is awesome.
Yeah,
good for you, buddy. Like, I don't know how I'd live with myself. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It's taking your passion out
and
selling it for...
live on a large pile of money.
That's not true, though, because, I mean, according to these... PewDiePie is making anywhere from $100,000 a day.
Yeah.
Off these ads.
I know.
Because he's getting millions of... I mean, it's
nuts. They make insane amounts of money.
Yeah, I was looking at Game Grumps, which is another one I like, and there's websites that actually calculate based on daily views how much money they're making from ads.
Right.
And it's like $50,000 a day.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's insane.
It isn't.
You know what I mean?
It is insanity.
And that's where I'm telling you, people, if you're like a comedic writer or something, and you want to like put on like sketch, put them on goddamn YouTube.
Yeah.
And if they get big, and if you're good, and you get lucky enough to get picked up and beloved by people, through all of the other stuff, good luck to you. Because there's money to be made there.
Yeah.
And no one's going to... You know what I mean? That's not... You got to go some TV network and pitch your show. You mean fucking do it there and you can make some money. You know what I mean? And have total freedom. So, anyway. So that's what's great about YouTube. But what's bad about YouTube is that there are people doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are people doing this advertorial stuff that isn't...
Yeah, and you'll never know who's
being disclosed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they're not going to say.
Right.
Of course, in Britain, their law in the U.S. it's a little bit of gray area. With the FTC, whether or not you have to disclose there's an ad or anything.
Yeah,
it's but in Britain it is unequivocal. I mean, it says there's literally a consumer protection from unfair trading regulation that says using editorial content in the media to promote a product where a trader has paid for the promotion without making it clear in the content or by images or sounds clearly identified by the consumer. So it's saying if you're getting paid by a company to do an advertorial, you have to say in Britain. Like, you literally have to tell. You can't just, do that. So people haven't been marking it, but, in Britain, you may be getting yourself in line for lawsuits, which could happen. Yogscast, let's get to. Most viewed YouTube channel in the UK with more than 7 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Channel began as a 2-man operation, posting humorous videos about World of Warcraft. They've grown in a sizable way with multitudes of presenters and stuff, some of whom used to be journalists. In 2012, they became a registered company with a business team. They offer revenue share deals with game developers. A limited time cut of game sales in exchange for coverage. Mark Turpin, yogscast CEO, says that they work with some selected partners on limited duration revenue sharing around content covering a game. Called the proposal as Yogs Discovery. So they're putting games on there and they're getting a cut of sales during a period after the game has. They actually have a couple initiatives here. There was an EA Battlefield 4 launch initiative where they were like, hey, cover our game and be super positive about it and we'll give you, money, basically. So
crazy.
Yeah. So apparently the Yogscast has been doing this for a while. Advertorial content. Which really kind of sours me.
I'm not sure it's been necessarily... From what it sounds like, they might just be getting paid to actually play the games on their channel.
But I mean, at what point? I know, but that's a slippery slope down to we're going to give you more money, but hey, just don't say that one thing that you were thinking about saying. Let us see it beforehand,
Yeah.
And maybe they won't cross that line, but maybe they will if they're a real company.
I don't know. Some of that stuff is kind of
Here's a bit of
I've never felt
here's a bit
advertised
of a
to.
warning. Here's a bit of a warning.
Yeah.
Sign, I guess. Turpin insists that the channel always includes a written description below the video, which nobody ever reads, and is usually hidden, and you have to click to make it fully expand. But stated now, the text the channel chooses to comply with regulations is a special thanks to blank publisher developer for making this video possible. That's it. That's their advertorial thing. So now I'm worried that I watched all these fun videos that were ads for a game, basically. And I
really
do get excited.
I mean, if you were entertained, then that's
true. But I mean, again, the British law is very clear. I mean, they could be making these videos. I mean, the idea is they're using this as an enticement for you to go buy the game. Like, oh, they had a lot of fun playing it. I want to have fun playing that game. Let's go play it. But when they're kind of showing themselves as this editorial, like, hey, we review games and we put out all this content
they
and fun.
don't really review games, though, as far as I can tell.
Well, they do non-advertorial content as well, which is similar to a lot of other people. They're in that area. All right.
I don't think I've ever seen a game review on there.
Okay, but it doesn't need to be a specific product review, though. It's just journalism. It's just,
I wouldn't call what they do journalism, even.
Well, it is, though, according to... I mean, they're reporting on... I mean, they are by putting videos out.
Videos. That is...
Well, it's not always all that, because they do cover a lot of new games and stuff, too.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily makes it a review.
I guess it just bothers me because... Like, a lot of times they'll have all these fun videos where they're playing a game, and it's like, oh, I want to go buy that because that looked really cool. Those videos are probably doctored
maybe it just
to remove things that are bad. You know what I mean?
Maybe it just doesn't work that way for me because I've seen games that they've played that they look like they're having fun with, but I know that's just not my type of game, so I...
Well, that's different, though. But I mean, like, let's say they're having fun with a game that looked like your type of game.
Yeah.
You get it, and it's like, hey, this is different than what they were playing. Like, they're not showing some of this stuff in that video.
I don't know.
And the idea
they
is
show all
that,
their Minecraft fuck-ups, that's for sure.
Not always. But, I mean,
like
that's different, though. That's clearly content that they have fun with, and they're not getting paid by mod makers.
You don't know that.
No, I do know that because those mod makers do it all for free.
Maybe they get paid by Mojang.
No, they don't. The mod makers make money through servers, often prices and subscriptions. But regardless, that's a whole other can of worms. But the idea is it's not really... I mean, the thought is these are some fun guys having fun making games. And what it seems like is that it's more of these guys are having a fun game making games. Also, they're getting money from video publishers.
To be honest, unless they actually... to me, unless they actually...
I always thought it was just a pure love of the game is why they're doing it. And it seems like not a lot, but in the case some of these videos they are being paid by the game company to make content for this that, and I don't know. I always thought it was like this is, what they're playing is stuff they love. And now it's like what they're playing is stuff they love and some stuff they were paid to play. And
that could be... Maybe they do it the way like Penny Arcade does. Like Penny Arcade has ads on their site,
but they're not clear about like what. To me, at least not until this point, I didn't know they did this at all. They're not clear about what like is advertorial and what isn't. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, if they're not actually trying to sell me something, I don't really care. Basically, if they're not trying to, actually say I'm reviewing this game and it's good, and they've accepted payment for something like that, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. Because if that's not the main, that's not why I watch them. So, and I don't really care about the other stuff if they're just, well, getting paid for it or not.
It's something that's going to get worse as time goes on, I suppose.
Well, I'm not saying that there aren't situations that could be definitely scary.
Because
I just don't really see that happening so much in.
Because right now, like a lot of times, these indie games will get huge. Yeah. Because they were shown in like a PewDiePie video and fucking thousands of people bought it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That is a huge deal to these guys. When you're an indie studio, making a game with 4 people that costs $10. Yeah. You're expected to sell, 2,000, 3,000 copies to your niche audience. And someone like, Total Biscuit comes and is like, man, and legitimately isn't doing an advertorial. Is like, I really love this strategy game. It's really cool. And it's, it's kind of special. And he talks in this article about how he loves the fact that he can find these games that no one would ever find and give them the success they deserve by showing the world, being a curator of content, which is why when you have places like, the yogscast making money off this, where other people are being curators of content and truly finding what they believe, other people are bringing things to them. It doesn't, you know what I mean? I don't know. The trust
I think
isn't
you're like,
there.
I think you're putting on a level of journalism to them that I never expected them to have. So when I go to their website, I don't expect journalistic integrity. I just expect to be entertained. That's.
Oh, I expect to be entertained.
I watch like a sitcom, not like a informational piece for the most part.
I know, but there is some informational piece to that too because they do, I don't know, play a lot of games I've never heard of, and I want to. Yeah. And I want to, see it done. I don't know. It just kind of pulled back the veil a little bit for me there. It was a little scary. And I was like, not that I don't think that I haven't really seen anything particularly egregious. Right. But, it just worries me that, I don't know, that it's not quite as clean and fun as I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like just, for the love of the games. But, I mean, it seems like this
if they could, like they said, they may only take money from stuff that they like.
It's true, but they're not transparent about it. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, you found pretty easily to take money. You didn't have to do a lot of searching for that. I mean, they don't put it up on a big flashing screen for everybody, but they're not really hiding it either.
According to the British laws, that seems to be what you have to do. It has to be clear to the viewer.
That's.
I mean, one could argue that's not clear to the viewer, though. Like, if you were to watch the video in an embedded format that doesn't have the description, that wouldn't be clear to the viewer,
It's all
I don't know.
Data.
I guess, but, I mean, if it says it has to be clear, it has to be clear. It can't be something you have to look for.
They're clear on YouTube. If somebody else embeds it, you can't really control that, I would say.
But the fact that it's embeddable would lead to the fact where you need to have that in the video. And all they would have to do is just have that line that they wrote at the end of the video. Like, this was thanks for this company for making this possible.
I don't know.
It just, I don't know. It just feels sleazy to me. I don't know. I thought this was a pure fun
It may be
game
You don't know
having
it's
thing.
not.
I do know it's not because this article came out.
I still, like I said, they can still only take money from stuff that they like.
Well, I don't know. You know what? And there's no way to know because
Exactly.
it's not.
So why worry yourself about it?
I don't know. We don't know.
Nothing has changed.
Of course, there's scary things the other way. We've got so like in the Summer of Arcade campaign in 2013.
Yeah.
Microsoft offered prominent YouTubers in exchange for, and I've seen this, and it always bothers me when YouTubers do this shit, where they because there was a content thing where it was what was that movie? Pacific Rim asked like a bunch of popular YouTubers to like come to their like studio where they're like making like models and stuff, and then they would like make a video for them like fighting in like the suits and stuff.
Yeah.
And they could put it on their channel as like kind of an ad. And I mean that was very clearly advertorial, but it always kind of bothered me. It's like, this is weird. But the Game Grumps one is incredible because they spend the entire time basically like annoying everyone at the studio there and like I don't know, just cracking jokes. And that was fun, but that was clearly advertorial obviously. But in this situation, Summer of Arcade, one YouTuber, Video Game Donkey, which is a weird name,
My brother
criticized.
watches him.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Criticized one of the game's brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Microsoft suggested he retract the video. He then disclosed this deal to the audience, where he stated he was paid $750. He basically was like, "Hey, fuck you. I make my content. You paid me to play the game.
Right.
Here it is." And he just told everyone. So that's pretty cool. And I guess the weird thing is that YouTube is the Wild West. And it's up to the content creators, people making these videos on YouTube, to police themselves right now. You know what I mean? To have the integrity to not straight up lie about games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like put out a video, because these the yogscast people have a pretty deep track record of putting quality content out, and if someone came to them and said, "We'll give you $1 million, put an ad out for this game that's getting some bad press and have a blast with it," you know what I mean, and like just figure out a way to have fun with it, and put a video out that's slimy, and it may make people buy a $60 game that they'll be furious that they pay the money for, and they don't have you know what I mean? It's the idea of G.I. Joe like toys, in the commercials, having like explosions and shit in the background. You know what I mean? It's like you're not selling what it is.
But here's the thing. Problem with that is, if they do that, and one of the reasons I think they're probably not doing that is because when you do that, you lose the one thing that brought people to you, which is
your genuine, integrity.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really sell it like that, or else, it becomes pretty obvious, and then people just stop watching you. So,
and you know what,
there's a motivation not to do that.
I'm sure those guys at the Yogscast are smart, and they know what they're doing, and they're not going to do that. But it's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
It just feels gross. It felt like that YouTube video game Let's Plays area was just fun and free, and now businesses have sunk their claws into it. Like,
I always knew they had a business anyway, so I wasn't super. They're
you
making
didn't
money.
Always know that. Not 5 years ago.
Okay, yeah, but I didn't even start watching them until like 2 or 3 years ago. So,
yeah, I don't know.
It
just takes the kind of carefree fun out of it.
I don't know.
But that's it.
As a capitalist, I think it's great.
I suppose, but as a fan of artistic content, I don't think it's great.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, I guess.
Not that it is always going to be bad, but it could be bad. Yeah. The potential for abuse is there.
No doubt about that.
All right. So I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
Yeah, I think so.
So thank you for listening.
Wait. Did you
watch
Yojimbo?
No,
Did you watch Yojimbo?
Episode's over.
No. Did you watch Yojimbo?
You can go to bornintheighties.net to leave comments and stay tuned for us next week. We'll be on. I'm sorry, Adam. What are you saying?
BWTCCP.
This podcast is over. Watch Yojimbo. I know you listeners haven't. That's why we're putting it off. I personally have, but we're going to postpone another week.
All right.
You believe that shit? You've been listening to Born in the 80s, part of the Little Podcast Network. Find more great podcasts at littlepodcast.com.